Good morning, viewers, and today we're going to be solving another problem. Today is the economic crisis, and we're here in London City, the home of banking and capitalism in the UK, to solve this problem. So, without further ado, let's begin. In this place, on weekdays, approximately $1.4 trillion is traded. That's a mind-blowing figure, and I'm here to find out why, and how do we benefit from this exactly? So, let's continue.
The wealthier among you might recognise this. It's called money, and it has no real intrinsic value. You can't wear it, you get paper cuts. You can't eat it.
Definitely not.
It wouldn't taste very nice, and you can't really build houses out of it because, well, they blow away in the wind. So, what gives it its value?
Basically, what gives this value is that everyone recognises it, and there's the guarantee that if I go into a shopping centre over there or over there or over there, I can swap this for a can of Cokes and boxes of chocolates and bread, whatever, that I can sustain myself with. That's what gives this value. We know, for example, that 60 pence will buy us a can of Coke, £1.20 a bar of chocolate, 80p a loaf of bread. So, this is given value by that knowledge. The fact that everyone trades in this only helps. What the people in these buildings do is they trade in equities with imaginary versions of these things. And that gives things like gold, like rice, like wheat, its intrinsic value. So we know how much it's worth, because the traders around here will pay a certain amount for it, and that will affect the imports, that will affect the exports, and in turn affect the consumer value. So around us here, prices are being decided by the workers and the investment bankers, which makes for a fascinating subject, actually. I'm going to use the analogy of biscuits here to talk about the economic cycles. So, when there's very few biscuits, everybody wants them, and therefore they're willing to do a lot more for them and pay a lot more for each individual biscuit. Let's say someone's after a chocolate chip cookie and there's only one left, they're going to pay a lot because it's the last chocolate chip cookie. But if suddenly thousands of people are releasing their own chocolate chip cookies and ginger nuts and jammy dodgers all over the place, the price is going to fall because there's competition, and that means that you can afford to pay less for the same object. This is what happens around us. When more people are buying the thing, the price begins to fall, up to a point when they can't make any more biscuits and the price begins to rise again. That's basically a crash course in economics. That isn't the only thing that affects prices worldwide. So let's go back to the biscuit thing. We have a biscuit factory, say, that's producing thousands of biscuits, generating thousands of pounds of bread, and then a slightly more efficient biscuit factory in France. Suddenly, all the biscuit producers go over to that biscuit factory because it's cheaper to make biscuits there than over here. So, because it's more efficient, we lose out. So, overall, that means that in order to stay ahead in the markets, we must spend more on our infrastructure. Let's go and say better, more efficient biscuit factories that can produce 10 jammy dodgers a second rather than 5. This would mean that we're far wealthier than we were before. In terms of economic progress, we'll go back to a separate analogy which I'll explain there. A few hundred years ago, we had the Industrial Revolution. Now this reformed the way the British economy worked, because previously we'd been mostly subsistence farming. Our economy wasn't particularly sophisticated, we'd been through hundreds of years of recession, and then all of a sudden the steam mills, at the forefront of technological progress, took us out of the dark ages and into the age of enlightenment, generating so much money for the British economy. Enough, in fact, to create an army and a navy powerful enough to conquer most of the known world at that time. If there's any more evidence needed to suggest that economic growth is powered by industry, there they come. And the third thing affecting the price of your biscuits will be inflation. As time goes on, the prices of things will appear to rise. This isn't because they've become more expensive, rather there's more money around and therefore the currencies become worth less. So to make up for their losses, biscuit manufacturers will be charging apparently more because the money will be worth substantially less. So say the value of the pound decreases by 10%, the relative cost of the biscuit will increase by 10% to make up for this drop in the value. Your biscuits aren't actually more expensive, you're just paying more of this stuff for them. I actually really want some biscuits now. Biscuits are cool. So we've covered how biscuits might be affected by inflation and by technology and by supply and demand. solve this whole problem of the economic crisis. So this is how it goes. We start a massive biscuit market internationally, get people trading, artificially inflate the prices to an all-time high, and then pull out, selling on a massive scale to create an enormous crash within the biscuit market. Buy it at bottom and repeat until we're rich. Keep on going in random cycles until this country has more money than it's ever had before. And I think that might just work. I guess we'll just have to find out.
Do you want to take a selfie now?
This station is Borough. This train terminates at Morden.
Got low standards, Bob. Instagram that now.